Good afternoon, fellow traders. Black Coffee Trader coming to you here on a Tuesday, February the 17th. Had to think what day it was. That is so normal. And we had a great day, or I had a great day today. A big emotional win, big mental win. I made some changes that I am really excited about, and I think this will make a difference in my trading. At least it did on day one, and obviously maybe it's just the day one lucky move. But anyway, so the big thing today, up 2,300, only trading 7 of my funded accounts, trading the 3 oldest Apex accounts that I've got, and trading my 5 Take Profit Trader accounts. And basically we are up pretty much $300 across each account. So that's one thing that if you're a follower of this channel, a lot of times I'll have days of, 100, 150, somewhere in there, maybe a $200 day. I rarely have, $300 days. And the change I made is I was just over the weekend and yesterday being a holiday, I didn't trade yesterday, just thinking through where am I making my mistakes. And the thing that jumped out to me is I don't have a problem getting good entries. I have a very well-defined strategy, the break and retest strategy. And the issue that I find myself in is I will take a trade, and typically I am risking $150. So most of my ATMs were set up with $150 risk. And what I have been doing a lot of times is, let's say I'm looking for a break and retest long, like right here. Let's say the market's moving up, breaking this area and going long, or I'm anticipating this long happening. And so I may take an ATM that has an entry here, but has the stop here, and has maybe a profit target here, here, and here. And then what I will do is I will move this bottom stop, or the stop loss, I would move it all the way right here because that's kind of where I want to get out of the trade. And then ultimately move my profit targets down, and I'll end up with a smaller trade. I may get out of that trade with, $80 or whatever. And that's fine, but then sometimes I'll have a bigger loss, and now all at once I have a $150 loss, and I have a couple of smaller wins. And so what happens is it skews my average win to loss. So I'm not gaining ground on my winning trades. And so that led me to make the change of saying I am setting up ATM strategies. So I'm trading like on the Dow Jones, which is where I traded today, for example. I've got 4, 6, 8, and 10 contracts, micro contracts up here. And the reason for that is I want to sell half my position at 2R. So I'm going to sell half at 2R, and then I'm going to have the other half sitting at a 4R target. And then the other thing I'm doing is once the trade goes to 1R, my stop automatically moves to break even. For example, so in this specific trade, this was the stop. Once the trade got to 1R, the stop moves to break even. So now I can't lose. The only thing I'm going to lose is commissions if it's a break even trade. That's what happened right here. And then I get out at 2R, and if it goes back and stops me out, I have $150, which is the same as if I were to take a full loss. So if I get to the 2R target and sell half my position, I have a 1R trade. And that way, if I lose the next trade, I'm at 0. If it goes to 4R, which this trade would have if I would have not mismanaged it a little bit, but now I'm up 450. And if it does that, I have, 3 wins, or I'm basically trading at a 3R, so to speak. I hope that makes sense. Winning 450 on a full winning trade. So that's the biggest change. And the other thing too is I'm not moving stops. So I am selecting the ATM that best fits the risk I want to take. And so that's how I'm creating my entry. And then basically when I click the buy or sell button, I'm not touching this. I'm not touching this at all. I did here and I did here. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm still figuring out how to manage all the way through. But I am basically not touching it until it gets to the 2R, the first profit target. And what that allows me to do is, once it goes to 1R, my stop goes to break even. I can breathe easy. If the trade wins, great. If it loses, I'm break even. I've got a free trade, so to speak. And it was very freeing today. The other thing I noticed is I only took 3 trades. I took a total of 1, 2, 3, and I was waiting for really good setups, and that's something that I need to do better anyway. And so today was definitely that. So big mental win just to see that work, and also just to see that had I left my hands off this second trade, I would have gotten out of here with a $450 winning trade per account. So that would have been an excellent trade. But I'll talk through the trades, and then I'll explain that, why I made this adjustment and the error or the positivity in it. So anyway, hope that makes sense. But I am really excited about that, because just solidifying the fact of having better winning trades is definitely going to be a big help for the trading account. So if I have a couple of losing trades, down $300, I can walk away for the day. And I know that if I have 1 or 2 good winning trades, I'm going to be more than making that back. So let's dive into TradeZella and look at the stats for today. So up 2,300, a very nice, nearly 75% win rate. This is the other thing that was huge today, 23-1 average win to loss. So the average win was 293, the average loser $12, because I really had only a break-even loss and 2 winning trades right at 300. So really good statistics there. That's obviously not going to stay every single day by any stretch of the imagination, but it was really nice to see that day one. $2,300 profit day today, 3.8 R, and a really good day, the best day of the month. So that's a huge win. Let's dive into the trades themselves. So first trade today was a break and retest long. And this one was a little bit difficult to sit through. And this is something I'm going to have to just mentally prepare myself for and not look at the P&L. Because in this trade, we had a break and retest of yesterday's low of day. That's this low of day. Several wicks holding, excellent entry, just excellent setup. Again, I chose the ATM with the stop right here. Once it got to 1R, stop moved up to break even, and this trade went up to almost hitting TP1. And at that point on the P&L, it was showing almost 300 in profit. It was all I could do to not hit close. It comes all the way back down, stops me out break even. So that's it felt a little bit like a bummer, but I also know trading the Dow Jones especially, a lot of times you get these big moves, and if it doesn't continue, we're going to see rollover. So I knew that. And the fact was I was out with a break-even loss. So I had a $11.62 loss, which was commissions. I was in with 6 micros on this specific trade. So I was fine with that. Trade number 2 was then almost immediately following. If this thing will load, we'll go down here. Was right here. So here you can see the break-even loss, and the market tested this area again, pushed up again. This time it would have just tickled my TP1, rolled all the way back down, and then we had this massive move to the downside, dropping below VWAP and dropping below this previous day low, yesterday's low. And at this point, NQ was selling off very strongly. So when we had several wicks holding here, I got into this short stop sitting right there. Again, it just chose the right ATM with a fairly tight stop. But the other thing is it's easy to get 1R and at least get the trade to break even very quickly. And I've really just mentally also gotten to the point where I'm thinking, okay, when I entered this trade, I'm down 150. That's mentally what I'm seeing. Like, okay, I'm okay with being down 150. And if it goes my way, great. But if not, okay, I've accepted the fact that I'm going to lose $150 if this trade loses. This trade ends up running. I'm going to show you here on the charts. This trade would have hit my full profit target had I let it go. So there's the entry. Stop was sitting above that previous day low. And we hit TP1, so we had $150. It goes all the way back up here. Again, my stop sitting at break even, because once we're plus 1R, the stop goes there. We go all the way back down here and we start to stutter. And I'm thinking, man, I was on my take profit accounts. I didn't have much drawdown. And so I was like, man, I don't really want to go all the way back and live through this again, going all the way back up and stopping me out after I have an opportunity to get out here at a 2R trade and have nearly 300 in profit. So I moved my stop after this candle wick down, area. Anyway, it wicked up and took me out, and then it dropped, and it would have hit my full, right there was where my original target was sitting right there. So a little bit painful that I walked out of there and didn't get a 450 trade. But by the same token, I did have a really nice 2-hour trade up 300, and I can't complain about that too much. So this is one thing I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to manage these trades. Once we go past TP1, do I move the stop to 1R and kind of hold on? Do I keep the stop at break even and let it ride and be okay with getting stopped out and only having the 150 when I could be out with 300 or 450? That's just something I'm going to have to figure out. But a little bit of a mismanagement maybe. Again, I was able to put profits on my chart, on my trade, or on my accounts, and move my drawdown to my favor. So $300 is a pretty nice win when we go from basically about a $400 drawdown up to about an $500 to about an $800 drawdown. So that was a big plus there. And then the last trade of the day, very, very, very patient. Again, we had the NASDAQ bouncing off the daily 200, big moving average down here. The NASDAQ did not break through that. And I was just patient, and I just stayed away. And my thinking was, if we get up and reclaim this morning high right here, I'm going to be looking for a long, or the previous day low. If we reclaim back above there where I had my morning trade, I would take that long. Now, in the morning, I didn't have this green level marked right here, and I just didn't have it. When the market started to move up here, there was really no entry here, and I could have taken this retest right there, that wick, but I wanted us to break this before I got an entry. Well, we didn't get an entry. We just started pushing higher. And at this point, I recognized that this pre-market high and this hold area from the first 30 minutes of the market, we were seeing a flip there. And so I put this on the charts real quick, and we got a pullback right to that point. Excellent spot to take an entry. Stop right below. It worked out great. Let's actually go to TradeZell, and I'll show you that entry. So here we can see that. There you can see the level that I quickly had drawn in there when I recognized that flip on the break and retest. You can see the little wick holding there. Stop was sitting right below, $150 risk. Here's TP1, and it was only quickly. This trade immediately went in my favor. Stop goes to break even. I got a free trade, and we ended up with a really nice $300 win. Now, this one, again, I did move my stop, but I'll talk through that and why I did it. So on this one, let's get Take Profit Trader on here, and let's zoom in here a little bit. So on this one here, after TP1 hit, we started to create a bit of a ceiling up here. And I had noticed at the same exact time, I was seeing that occur on pretty much all the indices. If you look at just the Dow Jones, this high was corresponding with these highs. It was right in that range. If you go to NQ, we had a bit of a double top at that time right here and right here. You had the same thing occurring on ES as well. Let me zoom into these. You have a double top forming here and here, and that was all at the same time that I was in this Dow Jones long. And so recognizing that, hey, we're up against a ceiling, maybe I should safeguard myself, move my stop to TP1, and if this rolls over, I'm out with 300. So a little bit of a different mindset. I was looking at the market conditions going, there's a reason for me to protect myself here. Or in the morning trade here, there was really not that good of a reason. The only reason was just that we had this move up, but we had fallen back down. So the likelihood of this continuing was much higher than what we have in the afternoon or the late morning trade. So I feel like I mismanaged this a little bit. Granted, it was a nice win, but I could have done better, and I just want to work on that a little bit. But here, obviously, when I recognize the fact that we have a double top forming across pretty much all the indices, I moved the stop to TP1, and obviously got stopped out there and locked in about a $300 day on my take profit account. So really happy with the execution, just really happy with the way mentally I felt today. It was so freeing and easy to trade today. I mean, all of these trades went to break even really quickly, and it was really easy to just sit and hold, which is nice. I know that's not always going to be the case, but I also know that if I have a red trade on these accounts tomorrow morning, both of them, it's going to be minus 150, and that's half of our winnings today. And so if I can just understand that the law of averages, if it's on my side, we should be able to move the chain, so to speak, and get some profits back in the accounts. If I can get myself to mentally leave my hands off and follow the trading strategy. So really, really happy with the day. It was an excellent day. Feels really good. I've got a lot of confidence going into the rest of the week, and hopefully we can push the month back into green. I'm not sure where we're at for the month. Let's look at this month. We are down, we're down 3,400. That can easily be made up over the next 8 or 9 days if we pay attention and just are smart about it. And so that's the goal, that's the game plan, and pretty happy with today. So hope you get some value out of that. I know I sure do. Forces me to go back and think through the day and what did I do right, what did I do wrong, and what did I learn. And I tell you, it's just that's a win. It's a win. So again, thanks for following along. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Oh, by the way, I forgot to change the QuantGuard deal is actually 10% off. Right there's the banner. It's actually 10% off the first month, not 50. They were running a 50% promotion, but that has ended. But code BCT still gets you 10% off. I love QuantGuard. I obviously stopped out of all of my accounts today. I was happy with it, and I was like, you know what, I'm walking away. Even though I'm not doing my update until later in the afternoon, I usually like to wait to see what the market does. But anyway, thanks for supporting the channel, whether you're using BCT for QuantGuard, Take Profit Trader, Lucid. But yeah, Take Profit Trader has a really good deal going on. They've had it for quite a while. I love Take Profit. I have gotten payouts with Take Profit. It's just been over a year since I've had one. But anyway, great prop firm. And also Lucid, I'm actually working on some evals with Lucid as well. So anyway, thanks for supporting the channel. I do appreciate that very much. And thanks just for being here. Thanks for just watching, following along, and commenting. And by the way, let me know how you did. Hope you had a good day today. This market was kind of meh today. So I was really happy with my game plan and execution. And hopefully you guys had a great day as well. So thanks for following along. We'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, and so long.